The title of our talk is Misinformation, Technocratic Media, and Communicative Uncertainty. Hello. Thank you for your consideration. Today, we address a pressing challenge of our time: how misinformation powered by technocratic media systems distorts our collective understanding and destabilizes communication in increasingly polarizes societies. Influencers, once viewed merely as content creators, now act as symbolic agents capable of mobilizing powerful narratives that shape public opinion. Those figures influence public health, politics, education, and environment discourse, and often challenge scientific consensus and institutional credibility. At the same time, algorithms behind digital platforms prioritize engagement over truth, exploiting cognitive biases and feeding our collective vulnerability to misinformation. In this study, we explore essentially four critical areas. The first one is conceptualization of the influencer as a symbolic agent. The second, the role of algorithms in shaping beliefs and also decisions. The third, interplay between misinformation and cognitive bias in conflict. And the fourth, ethical imperatives and communicative solutions must be embraced. We will now hand over my colleague Wilson, who will delve into the first of two pillars of our framework.
Hello. The first one is conceptualization of the influencer as a symbolic agent. Influencers play a key role in shaping shared narratives in today's symbolic and media saturated culture. Their power stems not only from their reach, but also from their ability to manipulate symbols, mobilize emotions, and establish themselves as reliable authorities in fragmented digital ecologies. These figures function as symbolic gatekeepers, validating certain narratives and suppressing others. They become architects of collective identity, defining what is considered authentic, acceptable, and legitimate. The narratives they construct often align with the values of their followers, deepening emotional bonds and increasing engagement. However, this influence is associated with ethical responsibilities. Influences can amplify misinformation, polarize discourse, and reinforce harmful ideologies if left unchecked. Their impact on public opinion requires us to critically examine their communicative practice, demanding accountability, inclusivity, and alignment with democratic values. The second point is the role of algorithms in shaping information. Beyond the influencer, we must consider the algorithmic infrastructures that elevate their content. Algorithms regulate what we see, what we engage with, and ultimately what we believe. They curate digital environments, creating echo chambers that reinforce bias and suppress opposition. However, these systems are not neutral. They prioritize content based on engagement metrics, which often means amplifying sensational, divisive, and misleading content. For example, Bruno Latour's actor network theories encourages us to view algorithms as actants, computed, computational agent possessing agency that influence human behavior and societal structures. These algorithms not only organize information, but also subtly shape our norms and values. This computational agency raises several ethical questions, as algorithms play a growing role in political discourse and public perception. We must assess their biases, opacity, and accountability structures.
Let's talk now about misinformation in conflict. Misinformation becomes more potent during times of conflict. It weaponizes cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, the illusion of truth, and anchoring, all of which distort our perception of reality. Through algorithmic amplification, social media platforms entrench those biases, creating a fertile ground for disinformation to thrive. And we have seen in the context of the Ukrainian war, as an example, civilians and soldiers have used TikTok and other platforms to shape global perceptions of this conflict. While this democratizes somehow expressions, it also complicates our ability to distinguish truth from manipulation. Understanding those dynamics is crucial, not just in war, but also in peace, as the lines between information and propaganda continue to blur. Let's talk now about ethical scrutiny and interventions. And let me ask you, what can we do about it? Ethical scrutiny must guide both content and platform designers. Influencers must commit to the truthfulness, inclusivity, and culture responsibilities. Simultaneously, platforms need clear accountability mechanisms for algorithmic decisions. In the post truth era, we must foster dialogue on division and empathy on outrage. The goal is not to silence voices, but to cultivate ethical communication rooted in active listening, mutual respect, and openness to diverse perspectives. Ideas, we must design spaces, both digital and real, that support truthful engagement and collaborative problem solving. To conclude, AI and digital media are transforming the way we communicate, trust, and understand one another. Influencers, empowered by algorithms, can either deepen our society or divide or bridge it, depending on how ethically we choose to act. It is our shared responsibility, my dears, as researchers, as educators, as communicators. We have to nurture critical media literacy and create environment where truth, empathy, and dialogue can thrive. Thank you and good seminar.